Look at the phone or laptop you are using right now. Beneath the glass and metal, these devices run on incredibly complex microchips. And keeping that hardware working connects you directly to one of the most sensitive international power struggles on the map. Imagine for a moment if a single farm grew 90% of all the wheat on planet Earth. If that farm suddenly vanished overnight, the bakery shelves in your neighborhood would be completely empty by tomorrow morning. This is a semiconductor wafer. The microscopic grids you see here are the raw material for advanced computer chips. And right now, roughly 90% of the world's most advanced chips are produced in just one place. That place is Taiwan. It is a self-governing island with its own elections, its own laws, and its own military. But the leadership in Beijing views Taiwan as part of China's territory. President Xi Jinping has stated clearly that unifying the island with the mainland is a goal they intend to achieve. So if Beijing decides to take control of Taiwan, how exactly would it happen? And how would that conflict instantly disrupt the daily life of nearly everyone on the planet? To understand why Taiwan resists that unification, we can look at recent history. When Beijing took tighter control over Hong Kong, the high degree of autonomy the city was promised quickly disappeared. Watching that unfold changed how people in Taiwan view their future. Today, the vast majority of Taiwan's public strongly prefers to keep their current system of self-rule, completely rejecting the idea of unification under Beijing's terms. That gap between what Beijing wants and what Taiwan wants has created serious friction. You might have seen news headlines pointing to the year 2027 as a scheduled date for a war. This graphic maps military projections. While 2027 is often cited as an invasion date, it actually marks a military checkpoint. Intelligence assessments suggest it's a target for China's military to have the tools to take the island if their leaders ever give the order. Taking that step involves massive risks. Beijing has to weigh how the United States might respond, the threat of crippling global sanctions, and the health of their own economy. So 2027 is a flashing yellow light on the dashboard. It's a serious marker of growing military pressure, but the outcome isn't locked in. When people imagine a conflict here, they often picture ships crossing the water and soldiers storming beaches. But a sea-to-land invasion is one of the hardest military operations possible. It is highly visible and incredibly risky. There is a different approach. Imagine you wanted to take over a house. You do not have to violently kick down the front door. Instead, you could park a truck across the driveway, cut the power lines, and stop the grocery deliveries. You squeeze the house until the people inside are forced to come to the table and negotiate. Taiwan is an island that relies almost entirely on imports for its food and energy. A naval and air blockade would choke off those essential supplies fast. We know this is a real possibility because China's military has already run massive exercises surrounding the island, practicing exactly how to cut it off from the rest of the world. Beyond the physical ships, there is also a constant invisible pressure. It works like a series of small, persistent annoyances. Think of frequent power surges, cyber attacks, or false news reports, all designed to slowly exhaust a society from the inside without ever starting a formal war. A slow, suffocating squeeze over trade routes is far more plausible than a sudden explosion of combat. And for an island depots connected to global trade, it would be highly effective. This is a fabrication plant in Taiwan, the high-tech clean room where chips are actually made. If the island is cut off, our digital bakery stops. The flow of these advanced components would freeze overnight. Without those components, assembly lines across Europe and North America would grind to a halt. Factories building cars, medical devices, and heavy machinery would sit idle, sending consumer prices soaring everywhere. And the crisis wouldn't stay economic for long. The United States and its partners, like Japan, have massive security interests in these waters. A blockade puts them under immediate pressure to step in. Looking at this map, you can see how a local standoff sets off a chain reaction. When multiple major powers feel their security and economies are threatened at the exact same time, the risk of a wider conflict spikes. The stability of the Taiwan Strait truly serves as the vital technological lifeline for nearly every modern industry. If a blockade begins, other nations face an immediate choice with no easy exit: intervene and risk a direct fight between superpowers, or stay out and watch the global economy fracture? And as we look at our own tech dependency, can the rest of the world build their own advanced chip factories fast enough to cushion the blow? I would love to hear your thoughts on how we should navigate this. Let's talk about it down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.